on mountain, river, and plain, through wind and storm, rides Anne of the Airlanes. Unable to make herself heard over the wind of a Florida hurricane, Ann Baker failed to acquaint Interstate Airlines pilot Jack Baker with the secret frequency of the government radio station from which he is to receive instructions as he works to get the inside workings of the illicit diamond syndicate, which is smuggling those precious stones from Africa into America. Without the all-important wavelength, his only link with the forces of law and order, Jack has flown a new experimental transport ship into the heart of the Florida Everglades, being accompanied by two members of the syndicate, Vic Morgan and Joe Tolliver. Undaunted by the force of the storm, Anne prevails upon Pete Peterson, Jack's co-pilot, to fly a borrowed Aircat speed ship over the Everglades in the hope of finding the hideaway airport. After almost an hour of flying about, Pete and Anne locate the secluded landing field, and Anne steps from the cabin of the speeding Aircat to make her first parachute jump down to the perilous landing afforded by the marshy waste of the Everglades. Will she land safely, and will she be able to reach Jack Baker without being seen by the watchful eyes of the gangsters? Listen.
Gee, don't it ever stop when it starts storming down in this neck of the woods?
It's dying down a little now, Joe.
I hope you're right, Baker. And just the minute that it gets safe to get out, Joe is going to take that car over there and make a dash for that oil outfit's place.
Listen, Vic, can't you call him up? I tell you, it's dangerous driving over that road right after a wind. A road made out of logs ain't a picnic in the first place. And when you put a few dozen trees across it every mile, it's just too much.
What's keeping you from getting out and pulling the trees off to one side? Joe, you're getting positively lazy.
Yeah? Well, them alligators that go slithering off every time you take a step ain't lazy. Try the phone again.
It won't do a bit of good. You might just as well get ready to make that little run. And, Baker, you might just as well quit looking out of that window. That plane that went over a little while ago wasn't any of your gang.
I was just looking to see if there was a chance of this storm clearing up a bit so that I could go over to the hangar and sort of look that transport over a little more. There's still a lot of things about her I don't know.
I never saw so many gadgets on one airplane in all my life. Do you know what they're all for, Baker?
I'm afraid I don't, Joe. This transport is a new one, you know, and there's a lot of things built into her that haven't been put on any other ship. That's why I wanted a chance to look her over on the ground.
There'll be plenty of chance for that, Baker.
I don't suppose that you'd mind having Joe shop around a bit and pick up the best aviation gas he can get, would you? You see, I don't care about shoving off over the Atlantic Ocean with a cargo of kerosene.
Don't worry your head about that, Baker. How much do you think it'll take?
Well, roughly, I'd say we ought to have about 2,500 gallons, just to be on the safe side. I think those tanks will hold about 3,000.
Well, just to be on the safe side, why don't we get the whole 3,000?
The more gas we take, the harder it is to get off the ground. And I don't know just how this ship will act without a gale helping it, although it seems to have plenty of climb.
We'll get 3,000 gallons. And getting off the ground is your problem, Baker. That wind's just about down. Why don't you go out there into the lean-to and see if you can get that Lizzie started, Joe?
Okay, but I still say it's crazy to try to drive through this rain over that road with that refugee from a junkyard. But I'll have a try at it.
Well, handy having that lean-to right next to the house, so you don't have to get out into the weather to get your car. But the condition of this house doesn't exactly explain the porte cochere piece of architecture.
That what?
I meant the idea of driving right up under a roof. It just doesn't match up with a log cabin, that's all.
Ah, that's easy to explain. This cabin used to belong to a rum runner in the old days. It was just kind of handy to have a place where he could run his truck and get into shelter without being exposed. We keep everything just kind of like it was undercover, so nosy people wouldn't be looking around too much, see?
Oh, that's all right, but how about the concrete runway? It must seem, well, just a little out of place to find a fine 3/4-mile concrete strip in the heart of the Everglades.
You didn't see it when you headed down, did you?
Oh, of course not. It was covered with a foot or more water from the rain. When it dries out, what then?
That's just it, Baker. It don't dry out. That strip is covered by water the year round. All we had to do was to dam up one of those little creeks after we laid the concrete and the water backed over it. And government pilots that get curious just find a lake, that's all.
Well, Morgan, it seems that I've hooked up with a very clever outfit.
Yeah, and you want to remember that if you ever get any ideas about double-crossing us.
Don't worry, I'll remember it. I say, it sounds like Joe's having trouble starting that flivver.
There, Baker, is the only weak link in Doc's outfit. That Joe. Plenty of muscle, but no brains. Now, if I was working with a guy like you, for instance, say, it wouldn't be any time until we could dictate our own terms with the doc about a cut in this racket.
And just what would the doc say if we did team together?
I'm afraid not. At least not just yet, Baker. In the first place, I'm not so sure that I know you so well. Anyhow, Doc still gives the orders. And whenever anybody tries to put something over on him, well, it's just too bad, that's all. Maybe after a while. We can talk it over later.
And suppose we do. Just where does that leave Joe?
Oh, him? Well, accidents will happen, you know. But we'll see how the things work out. After we make this little hop to the Kimberly diamond mines.
Well, it looks as though our storm had settled down to a rain now. Hardly any wind at all.
Yeah, and that means I gotta help Joe get that thing started.
Oh, I'll go out there and give him a lift.
You go down to the hangar. If you're not afraid of getting your feet wet, and look that transport over. It's noon now, and you won't have much chance after dark.
You don't know just how long it will be before Joe gets that gas delivered, do you?
Now, tell him. He may be able to make the drive in an hour, or it may take him 6. Just according to how the hurricane left the road.
Well, my feet are just about as wet as they'll ever be, so I'll take a run through your miniature lake and have a look at the ship. There's just a few details I want to make sure of before I sail out over the briny deep with her.
I think Joe and I can get that whoopee started. And if we don't, we can always call you. But don't try any monkey business, Baker. Remember, just because you're in with us now don't mean you're in good, see?
I think I see, Morgan. I'll be back pretty shortly. And next time, I'll remember to wear hip boots when we land on this trick runway. I wonder if I'll be able to pick up that wavelength. Taking a long shot in the dark, but I can fish around for it. If Ann had only made herself heard. Say, that reminds me. That ship that went over here a while ago was no transport. That was an air catter. I'm no judge of motors. I just wonder if... Gee, the way things have been happening since night before last, it got me talking to myself. Now, let's see. No use of opening these big doors any further. There's a small door there at the back. Boy, they sure put this barn right on the edge of the jungle, all right. It comes right up to the back end. And those trees and moss hanging down like that covers up its size plenty. What's that? Boy, so that's one of those alligators. Well, old fellow, thanks for the warning. You're not half as scared as I am. Huh. I wonder if this door's been opened in the last 10 years. Here's where we have a real look at this ship. And a better look at that radio. There ought to be a flashlight right about here. Yeah, there it is. Now we'll see. So that's what those new pressure gauges are. And those tanks in the top. Sealed cabin for substratosphere flight. No wonder those doors are tight. Oh, must have left that door open a bit. Now for that radio. See if I can stumble onto that government wavelength. It's a chance in 10 million because I wouldn't know what they were talking about if I did hit it. Well, it won't hurt to try. Ought to be in the higher frequencies, so I'll just... No, that wouldn't be it. No. Hey, that you, Morgan? I'm up here in the...
Jack, it's me, Anne.
Anne, what are you doing here? How did you get here? You haven't cracked up out there anywhere, have you? Is Pete all right, or was it Morrison?
Where are they, Jack? I mean Morgan and Joe.
They're across the runway over there in the lean-to next to the shack, trying to start a flivver. But how did you get here? You haven't...
You haven't given me a chance, Jack. But aren't you afraid they're liable to come up in here?
Not much chance. Climb up in here. It's dark in this cabin. They'll never see you. Go on. How did you get here?
Well, I knew that you had to have that wavelength of the government station if you were going to help round up the smugglers. So while the rest were asleep, Pete and I took the air cat with the gas in it and headed for the Everglades.
But how did Pete know that we'd headed this way?
He figured it was the only place the gang would dare land this transport, thinking it was still listed as being stolen. And he knew that you couldn't get very far on the gas you had.
Good old Pete. But how did you spot this place? It looks just like a lake from above.
I happened to see the tail of this ship sticking out of the barn here, and I knew there couldn't be two ships this big around here.
But that still doesn't answer the question of how you got here. You didn't find another secret landing field, did you?
No, I bailed out, as you called it, with a parachute.
You bailed out in this storm in a parachute?
Well, it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. I managed to land in a tree. I had to cut myself loose from the chute, and then, oh, Jack, it was awful trying to get here. There was mud and underbrush and alligators and just thousands of crawling things. I thought for a while I'd never make it, but, well, here I am.
Well, Anne, if a girl ever had what it takes to be an air hostess, you've certainly got it. Bailing out of a ship into the heart of the Everglades and then walking through.
What's that?
Oh, Joe's getting underway to go for gasoline. Where's that wavelength, Anne?
Here it is. I wrote it down with indelible lipstick on this handkerchief. So if it got wet, it wouldn't wash out because I knew I'd forget it. And Morrison said it had to be exact.
Never mind. I'll look at it later. Vic will be over here any minute now. How do you think you're going to get out of here?
Oh, I don't know, Jack.
There's a road of some sort over that way. Now, wait a few minutes to let Joe have plenty of time to get by.
Mm-hmm.
Then stick to the road. And stop at the first house you come to that looks like it's being lived in. And then call the Miami airport and tell some of those pilots to send a car for you. I know most of them. They'll do it for me. Then get back to that emergency field and tell Morrison everything's okay. And I'll keep in touch with headquarters. Now, you got that, Ann?
Yes, I think so, Jack. And here's wishing you the best of luck. Maybe I'll be a hostess by the time you get back from Africa.
You'll make it, Ann. I'll get going. I think I hear Vic splashing over the runway. He's going around to the back. You'd better stay in here until I get him back to the cabin. Then you make a dash for it. Now keep still. He's at the door.
Jakey, you still in here?
Yeah.
Come on, we'll get a bite to eat and a little rest so you'll feel like flying.
Okay, Morgan. Just a second till I put this flashlight back. Give us plenty of time to get back to the house. Then run for it.
You bet I'll run. And goodbye, Jack.
Thought I'd better close up in case we might have visitors.
Visitors out here? Don't make me laugh, Baker.
Little does Vic Morgan realize that he and Jack have a visitor. But will Anne be able to make her way safely back to civilization? Or will she be discovered in the hangar and thus reveal Jack's position as an aide to the Secret Service? And what of our friends back at the emergency landing field? How will they, especially Aunt Hattie and Bobby, receive the news that Anne is facing the perils of the Everglades in order to help Jack? The answers mean more thrills, more adventures in the next tingling episode of Anne of the Airlines.
Mountain, river, and plain, through wind and storm,
Rides Anne of the Airlines. When we left our friends, a mysterious stranger, evidently a native of the Everglades, was demanding that Aunt Hattie and Art Morrison refrain from entering their plane. Just who was this stranger? And does he have some connection with the diamond smuggling gang? Of course, we'd like to hear the answers right now, but we feel that there is much more danger menacing Ann Burton as she vainly attempts to find her way from the secret landing field after delivering the message to Jack Baker. A night has passed, and as morning breaks, we wonder if Ann has taken advantage of the cloak of darkness to escape the eyes of the two gangsters, Vic and Joe, with whom Jack has evidently linked himself. Suppose we look into the hut that is part of the camouflaged airport, deep in the heart of the Everglades.
Oh, boy, did I sleep. Hey, where am I? Oh, I remember. Well, it wasn't a dream after all.
What's that? Oh, yeah. Oh, it's you, Baker? I thought maybe it was Joe getting back with a truckload of gas for that transport. What time is it, anyway?
6:40. We must have really slept. Looks like your partner must have walked out on you, Morgan.
Nah, Joe is just using his head, that's all. Probably for the first time. But I guess he was smart at that. Maybe got hung up on that road with the trees down and didn't get to that little burg until after dark. And it sure got dark early with all that rain. So he just stayed out all night, I guess, and figured on getting his gas this morning. Is it raining out yet?
Not a drop. Looks as clear as a bell. I think I'll open this door.
No wonder I woke up. Who could sleep with all them birds making that racket? Hey, what does that runway look like?
Still looks like a lake to me. But you can see the concrete this morning, and that's more than I could do yesterday.
Yeah, it takes a little time for rain like that to drain off. But you'll always find a few inches over that slab. Just enough so nosy pilots won't be tempted to drop down and look things over.
That's very clever. But were you fellows clever enough to remember that a person would like to have breakfast when he stops overnight in this place?
I think so. You see what you can do about getting a fire started in that stove, will you? And don't try to turn on that gas because we're not that modern. But you'll find a lot of wood in that box out in that lean-to. In the meantime, I'll see if there isn't a slab of bacon in the cupboard here.
I think the roof leaked everywhere except on the wood. It's dry, thank goodness.
Well, bring some in.
Coming up.
I found the bacon and coffee. And there's a can of cream. It isn't what you'd order at the Ritz, but it'll have to do us for a while anyway.
I haven't built a fire in a wood stove for years. Not since I was a kid. It seems to be doing all right. Yeah, there she goes.
Yeah, that'll burn okay. I'll put this frying pan on and fix some coffee and... Hey, Baker, where are you going?
Thought I'd drop down to the hangar and see if the ship's okay. You can never tell what might happen during the night.
Not a bad idea. If Joe gets back here, we can take off for Africa today, can't we?
Today? Oh, Morgan, listen, before we take off across the Atlantic, I would like to have weather reports. And just incidentally, a few provisions would come in handy.
That's all been taken care of, Bright Eyes. Joe will bring back a supply of just about everything we can take, including, just in case things don't go so good, some hardtack and some of that bully beef. Wouldn't even surprise if he happened to bring one of those rubber life rafts, too.
You don't mind telling me just where Joe's going to round up all these things here in the heart of the Everglades? You'd have to go to some seaport for those things.
Baker, sometimes you surprise me with how much you don't know. For instance, just down the road about 10 miles is a fellow that makes a pretty good living just selling outfits to people that, well, don't care to have it well known that they're going on a little sea voyage. Here in the Everglades, you can get away with it.
He'd probably get away with it in the middle of the Sahara Desert, too, but it seems to be a long way from the ocean.
Look, Baker, less than 10 miles from here is a canal that runs right into the ocean, or rather to the Biscayne Bay. There are 3 of those canals from Lake Okeechobee, and any one of them will carry a fair-sized motorboat. So anybody that wants to do a little prospecting around the Keys and don't want it noised around about buying his gear from regular places, or maybe wants a few extras that go along with his business, why, this fellow near the canal fixes them up, see?
Well, I must say that your organization has things pretty well worked out, Morgan.
Yeah, the doc thinks of just about everything. Well, you better take a look at that ship if you're gonna. Hey, if you walk around to the side of the cabin, you can cross the runway there without getting your feet wet. There's a walkway there.
Okay, thanks. Be back in a minute. Wonder if Ann got away all right. No footprints leaving here, but then the rain would have washed them out. So we take off for Africa today. And I haven't had a chance to even take a look at that handkerchief that Ann gave me, with that wavelength scribbled on it. I think I'll take a look at that. Say, that sounds like Joe coming back. He's stopping right outside the door of this... He must be coming in. I'll put this away until I get...
Hey, who's in here? What's the idea? Come on out.
That's all right, Joe. It's me, Jack.
Gee, Jack, for a minute I thought maybe that somebody had got in here and might be doing something to the ship.
No, I was just looking over the ship while Morgan was fixing up something to eat. Ought to be ready by this time.
Whatever it is will go pretty good after the drive I've had this morning. You can ride up the runway in the flivver and you won't get your feet wet.
Okay, Joe. Did you get the gasoline?
Yeah. It's on its way out here now along with a lot of other things that Big had on his list. But I almost didn't make it. That is, the trip into town, which ain't a town at all, but just a bunch of little shacks along the canal with a filling station near the road.
You mean you nearly had a wreck?
It was worse than that, Jack. I didn't mind having to get out every now and then to get a treat from across the road. But boy, that guy was sure wanting to get somewhere in a hurry, and he wasn't going to be fooled with.
Wait a minute, Joe. Just what guy are you talking about?
Here's the lean-to. I'll drive in. Vic ought to hear about this, too. It may have some connection with us. Only if it did, I guess I wouldn't be here.
Well, Joey, it's about time you're getting back. I thought you might have decided to stay. Jack said you may have decided to leave us in the lurch.
No, I just got into that little burg late. And by the time I got that filling station guy awoke, he said he wouldn't load any gas till morning anyhow. So I just stayed all night in the Lizzie so I could help him this morning. He's on his way here now. But the going is kind of slow on account of the rain. And that road is no picnic even when it's dry.
Well, we might as well eat while we're waiting for him. You take that chair over there, Baker. And, Joe, you can drag up that box. Find out anything about the ship, Baker?
I hardly had a chance. Just climbed into the cabin when Joe came driving up. So I thought I might as well delay the inspection tour until after breakfast.
That's okay. You'll have plenty of time while you're gassing up the ship. Did you get the rest of that stuff, Joe?
Yeah, but I guess we was lucky because Jasper's running pretty low on that seagoing rig. He says that he got tipped off that they've been checking up on him lately, and he has to be careful.
Well, he better get smart and start getting his supplies from another source. Buying ship supplies and taking it inland in a truck doesn't look exactly right even to a kid. It's a wonder he hasn't been questioned by someone before this.
Yeah, and that's what got me. Him telling me that right after that fellow wanted to get south in such a hurry.
What fellow?
You started to tell me about it, Joe. Let's have the rest of the story. That is, the start and the finish.
Well, I had left here yesterday evening, and I guess I drove about 3 miles when I saw a tree across the road, so I stopped and got out and pulled it to one side. I just got back in, was about to step on Lizzie when I heard someone yell, "All right, not so fast there, stranger." And I looked over at the edge of the road, and here was this fella with a rifle under his arm. I had a notion to go on, but I'm sure glad I didn't.
Why not? He couldn't have hit you. He had the gun under his arm, didn't he?
That's what you think, Vic. Listen, you know how that road is. Logs across it and not so much dirt on top, so it's like a washboard. Well, while we're riding along, this guy sits there and spots maybe a butterfly lighting on a bush way up the road. He'd up with that rifle, and bang would go Mr. Butterfly.
Probably just one of the natives. They get pretty good with those rifles, you know.
Good? Listen, this guy was a wizard.
Okay, so what makes you nervous about a guy with a rifle? He was just going to the store for a slab of bacon, maybe.
Yeah, and maybe not. When I got almost to Jasper's, it was just around the bend, so I know this guy knew where he was at. He had me let him out and told me not to say a word about him riding with me, and that he'd have to hurry if he wanted to make it before dark.
Make what before dark? Joe, you're getting so you're talking in riddles.
Don't ask me what, but I do know that I saw him a few minutes after that while I was trying to wake up Jasper. He must have gone to bed before sundown. I saw this guy with the rifle down at the pier in the canal talking to a fella in a speedboat. And then they took off down the canal faster than I ever saw a boat run before. Jasper said it was one of the boats they used to meet the liners off the coast. But he didn't know about this guy with the rifle getting into it, because I didn't tell him.
I see. He told you not to tell, and you just had to keep your word, huh, Joe?
Listen, I saw the look on that guy's face, and it ain't no use taking chances.
You're just up in the air over one of those squatters down here that's probably in a hurry to find a piece of land he can't own.
Oh, now, I got a hunch that guy was no squatter. And what's more, no squatter in the Everglades ever had $50 all in one piece. And that's what Jasper said that speedboat fellow would have to have before he'd ever take his boat away from the dock.
He didn't happen to mention his name, did he, Joe?
No, he didn't. Say, he did at that. I remember now. He was saying something to himself, and he called himself. Let's see now, I think the name was Zeb. Gee, what's the matter, Vic? You strangle on that coffee?
Did you say his name was Zeb?
Yeah. Because, Vic, you're white as a sheet and shaking all over. What's the matter? You sick or something?
Hey, Baker, listen. The minute that truck gets here with that gas, we're all working to get out of here so we can get out of here in a hurry. I've got a hunch this Zeb will be back. We're not going to be here when he gets here. I don't want to meet him.
At last, something seems to shake the sinister calm of Vic Morgan. Can it be that Joe's passenger, Zeb, is the same rifle-carrying stranger that was holding Aunt Hattie and Art Morrison when we left them? And just why does the mere mention of his name strike fear into Vic? Meanwhile, what has befallen Ann Burton? Has she found her way back to civilization? Those are questions only time can answer. And the suspense will be repaid in thrills galore when you tune in the next episode of Anne of the Airlanes.
Valley and mountain, river and plain, through wind and storm,
rides Anne of the Airlanes. After finishing her nurse's training, Ann Burton, who wishes to become an air hostess, returns from a vacation in Canada aboard a plane piloted by Jack Baker. After landing in the dark at the Springfield airport, Jack is struck by an automobile on the unlighted field and rendered unconscious. Taken to the Tyler Sanitarium, he is treated by Dr. Tyler, the owner, and by Ann, who has been offered the position of floor supervisor in Tyler's hospital. However, before Jack can leave, he is chloroformed by two ruffians employed by a mysterious doc, in order that he be forced to pilot a stolen Aircat plane. The two hoodlums have been instructed to have the stolen ship ready at their secret landing field in an hour, and to bring the unconscious Jack to the field by that time. Ann enters the hospital room just as the gangsters Vic and Joe are leaving through the window. Dr. Tyler warns Ann to keep still about the whole affair and tells her that Jack will be awake and capable of flying within an hour. A few moments later, we find Ann at the bedside of Jack with some mysterious-looking apparatus nearby on a chair.
It ought to be working by this time. If I could only turn on a light. I wonder if I'll be able to. Jack, can you hear me?
Yes. What's this?
Here, I'll take off that mask. Now, how do you feel?
All right, but where's Doc Tyler and those two gangsters? What's this thing here? Looks like a welding outfit.
We haven't any time to spare, Jack. You've got to get out of here.
I'll say I have. Those mugs have stolen Tony Johnson's Aircat plane and...
But you'll have to listen just a minute, Jack. They said that you were going to fly it somewhere. You can't do that.
I'll say I'm not. But I still want to know what this thing is here.
Well, to make a long story short, when I found that they had chloroformed you, and Tyler said that you'd be capable of flying in an hour, I knew they were planning something. So I brought in this oxygen pump from the operating room and washed out your lungs with it. That brought you right out of it.
Smart girl. You ought to get a medal.
Oh, never mind about the medal. I've got to get you away from here as fast as I can. No telling when Dr. Tyler will be back.
Yes, and I've got to find out about
We'll
Tony's
talk
ship.
about that later. Here are your clothes. Get into them just as fast as you can and leave here through the window. Can't take a chance having you meet Tyler in the hall. I'll go get my car from the garage and meet you around on the side street in about 2 minutes. But hurry.
Okay, Ann, in 2 minutes or less. Say, that washing out the lungs with oxygen is a new one on me.
Oh, I simply had to think of something. I knew that Dr. Tyler would be back, and then no telling what they could have done with you.
What worries me now is about this Aircat plane of Tony's. We can't let them get away with that. If we only knew where the landing field is.
If we knew who those hoodlums were, we might get some idea from that.
Yeah, but I haven't the slightest idea in the world. Unless
What?
Unless they're pretty well known to the police. Then we might be able to pick them out of the rogues gallery at the police station.
That gives me an idea, Jack. Drive there as quickly as you can.
Lucky you thought of it when you did. We're right around the corner. If they'll only let us in at this time of night.
Oh, they'll have to, Jack. They'll just have to.
Well, here we are. Let's hope our luck holds out. Pardon me, Sergeant. We'd like to have permission to go through the pictures of criminals here.
Sure, and wouldn't you know? Sorry, but we can't have everybody prowling through our gallery just to see the pretty pictures. Goodbye.
Oh, look here, Sergeant. I'm Jack Baker, pilot of Interstate Airlines. Tony Johnson's Aircat plane was stolen tonight, and we think we know who took it. At least we'd like a chance to see if we can verify our suspicions.
Oh, the stolen airship. Sure, and I've got a report on that, and every squad car's been told to keep an eye out for it. Though heaven help the rest of traffic if the boys keep gawking at the sky all night. Sure, and you can come back to the Identification Bureau right this way.
Well, thanks so much, Sergeant. You don't know how much we appreciate this.
Don't mention it at all. You don't happen to be able to give me a description of these fellas, do you?
Well, one of them was sort of tall, about 6 feet.
Folks, to tell you the truth, it's a big job you've picked out for yourselves. We've got about 25,000 pictures here, more or less. But if you've got the time, you're welcome to 'em.
And we've got less than an hour. It's a cinch they'll find someone to get that ship away when they find I'm gone.
I told you I had an idea. Sergeant, if we had the fingerprints of one of them, would that make it any easier?
Easier. If you had that, you could find your man in 5 minutes or less, if he has any record at all.
Then here, this bottle. It should have at least 2 sets of prints on it. One of them should be the man.
Chloroform, huh? Yeah, I'll keep that cork in plenty tight. You just wait here a minute or so and we'll see. Oh, Branson, take this bottle and see what your funny little powders show up on it. The lady thinks one of the prints should be on record, so run them both through your sorting gadget right quick. Now, if you'll excuse me, Branson will look it up, if there is anything.
Oh, thanks a lot, Sergeant. We'll wait.
But, Ann, where did you get that bottle?
Well, I thought about the fingerprints before I left the hospital, so I went back and picked it up. I remembered that one of the crooks was just setting it down when I opened the door, and that his prints should be on it. The others should be Dr. Tyler's.
You ought to go into the detective business.
Maybe I'll have to. I don't dare go back to the sanitarium. Oh, here comes the sergeant.
Well, you were right, lady. One of the prints had no record at all that we can find, but the other is an old friend of ours, Joe Tolliver. Come over here and I think we can show you the picture.
Gee, Ann, is this a break?
Now, let's see. Yeah, sure, and here it is. Joe's big as life. Haven't seen Joey for some time now. He used to be one of our regular customers. Never could really pin anything on him, but he seemed to be always connected with the first bootleggers and later on diamond runners. Joey was always supposed to be the trigger man, only I disremember that he ever shot anyone.
That's him, all right. The kind of dumb acting one, remember, Jack? I wonder who the other one is.
It might be his brother. He's been in town for a long time. He's the smart one, though. Always seems to be the brains of the whole thing. Only we've never been able to hook him up with anything. He's taking care of the Green estate while old man Green is making that tour of South America. That's his picture.
Nope, that's not the one that was with Joe in Detroit.
No. His name was, I think that Joe called him.
I think I've got it. Let's go, Ann. Thanks a lot, Sergeant.
Sure, and don't mention it at all. Hey, here's your bottle in case you want to keep those prints. Anytime I can help you out, just let me know. And if you find that airship, I'll split the reward money.
Okay. Oh, say, Sergeant, do you mind if I use your phone?
Here it is. Help yourself.
Who are you calling, Jack?
Oh, just a minute. Airport. Let me talk to Pilot Pete Peterson. Hello, Pete. This is Jack. Never mind. Now listen. Meet us at the river bridge on Highway 109. This end. The east end. That's right. Huh? It's a small black coupe. I'll tell you when we see you, but step on it. So long. In, Pete.
Let's go.
Miss Burton, this is my co-pilot, Archibald Peterson. Just call him Pete. Pete, this is Ann.
Yeah, I met her when you cracked your noggin on the ambulance. Now, just what's this all about?
You know the Green Estate?
Green Estate? Oh, yeah. Great big place just over the river. Got a private landing field and everything.
Landing field? Oh, then that's what you meant
You're
when
both
you...
right. Now, Pete, somebody grabbed off Tony Johnson's Aircat this evening.
Don't I know it? The airport's been wild ever since somebody grabbed it right off the ramp and took off before you could say scat. Tony'll be wild when he gets back and find that ship's
Now, listen. For some reason or other, it looks like Doc Tyler has snatched that ship to fly to Florida. I was supposed to do the flying, but thanks to Ann here, I'm out of it. Now, if things are like I think they are, we'll find that ship at the Green Estate all warmed up and ready to go.
That ought to be easy. We'll just drive up, you jump in, and ferry it back to the airport.
I wish it were that easy. No, I think that somewhere around the place we'll find the two hoodlums I had the trouble with. And if Doc Tyler has found out about me leaving the hospital, he'll be there on the jump. So we may have to fight our way out. Are you with me?
Yeah, sure, Jack. But let me get this straight. What has Doc Tyler got to do with it?
Well, that's what we don't know, Pete, except that he seems to be the head of the whole thing. He had Jack chloroform so he could force him to fly the Aircat to Florida.
He did. Why
This ought to be close enough. We can't risk them hearing us. I'll run the car into this clump of bushes.
Hadn't we better leave Miss Burton in the car? We might run in...
Better not. They might find the car while we're gone. She's safer with us. Now take it easy and don't step on any twigs. They'll sound like a shot on a night like this.
What's that noise I hear? Listen.
That sounds like an Aircat motor. You can tell 'em a mile away. Man, there's a flock of power there.
Yeah, it sounds like it's over there.
Isn't that it there? You can just see the outline of the wings.
Yeah. Now listen, Pete. We'd better make sure the coast is clear. The chances are that they're all over there in the caretaker's house. See? Over there. There, you see that light?
Oh, yeah.
But you'd better get around to the other side just to make sure.
Okay, Jack. The best way is for me to go clear around the house and come out behind that hedge. That way I can get right up to the ship without getting out of the shadow.
But suppose that somebody comes.
In that case, make a break for the ship. The first one there takes off and flies to the airport and brings back help for the other. But make sure that one of us gets away, see?
Okay, Jack. If everything goes all right, I'll meet you on the other side of the plane. Good luck.
Good luck, Pete. Well, Ann, we'll wait here for a minute or so to give Pete a chance to get around the house. Then we'll work our way over to the ship.
Jack, look over there. Isn't that a car on the highway?
Sure, but there's a lot of cars in it.
I know, but this one seems to be turning into the drive. It is.
Maybe he'll stop before he
Jack,
gets...
that's Dr. Tyler's car. I'd know it anywhere. We've got
Make
to
a
get
run
away.
for that ship. Here, give me your hand. Come on.
But somebody'll hear us then.
Too late for that now. Now run. Just a little farther.
Jack, I can't run any farther.
Now, here you are. Now, up you go. That's it. Now, I made it.
The car. It's coming around the drive. They've seen us. They're getting out.
They'll have to have wings if they catch us now, Ann.
But Pete, what about Pete?
Pete'll take care of himself. He hasn't shown up, has he?
No, I don't see him anywhere. Maybe.
Now, don't worry about it. Hang on, we're taking off.
What are those flashes on the ground?
Oh, they're shooting at us. Don't worry, we're out of range. Well, we got the Aircat. Now all we have to do is to get it back to the
Do you
airport.
suppose that Pete will be able to get away?
Sure, he'll sneak back to the car and probably meet us at the airport. Pete knows his way around.
Jack, did you hear that?
I know, what?
There's someone in the back of the cabin. Turn on the lights.
And just what or who will the lights reveal? Will it be the gangsters Vic and Joe? Or will it be faithful Pete who might have made his way to the plane? Will the powerful Aircat ship be returned safely to the airport from whence it was stolen? Tune in the next gripping episode of Anne of the Airlanes.
Over valley and mountain, river and plain, through wind and storm, rides Anne of the Airlanes.
Less than 48 hours have passed since Ann Burton resigned from the nurse's staff at the Tyler Sanitarium in order that she may become an air hostess with Interstate Airlines. But in that short time, she has encountered more excitement than most girls will meet with in a lifetime. She and pilot Jack Baker stumble upon a diamond smuggling ring and are forced by two of the members of this ring to fly a stolen Aircat speed ship to a small island just off the coast of Florida. This island, elaborately fitted out by the head of the ring, a mysterious dock as a base for the smuggling operations, is menaced by a tropical hurricane, and a last-minute radio call by Jack reaches the receiving station of his young brother Bobby. That youngster, together with Radio Inspector Art Morrison, co-pilot Pete Peterson, and hostess Kay Thompson, borrow another Aircat ship, load it with gasoline, and take off to rescue their friends. They land just in time to transfer the gas and make a quick takeoff in the face of the 100-mile-an-hour gale that is almost upon them. Will they succeed in making the perilous 50-mile trip to the emergency field on the mainland? Or will the tragic story of one or more of the sturdy aircraft be written in wreckage, strewn upon some tropical beach? Listen.
Think we'll make it, Jack?
If the gas holds out, I think we will. Can you see Morrison?
No, I can't from here, but he was...
If you're looking for your fair-haired government boy, he's hanging right on to us. I think that he flies just a little too good for a fellow that's supposed to be mixed up with nothing but radio.
I wouldn't be a bit surprised, Morgan, if he might suspect that you don't exactly sell books or brushes for a living. But I doubt very much that he's any more than just what he says he is.
No, Vic, I think you're sort of jumping at your own shadow. That Morrison is okay. He says so himself.
Oh, he says so himself, does he? Well, I guess that makes everything all right. How do you like the way this crate handles, Baker?
Well, from what I've seen of her, there's not another job in the market like it. It's a lot to get used to, of course. Running ahead of a hurricane is hardly the place to do any test flying.
Yeah, and don't forget that them gas tanks ain't exactly connected to an oil well.
Oh, that reminds me. What does that tank show, Ann? That little gauge right over there.
It says, let's see, a little over 50 gallons left.
And we put in 75. Well, that's doing a little better than Interstate figured on this ship while they were building it.
See if you can get more speed out of this buggy, will you?
We're doing all we have to keep ahead of that storm. We want to keep together. By the way, where's Pete?
He's down there, just off the left wing, see?
Hey, what's that? An oil line busted or something? That spot on the window.
Where? Oh, that. No, but I'm afraid we're in for a bit of rain, just to keep the wind company.
How about climbing above it, Baker? We don't want to take any chances, do we?
Yes, we could climb above it, Morgan, but just remember, as Joe said, we're not connected to an oil well, and all that climbing takes gas. Nope, I think we stay right here and enjoy the rain.
Jack, I wonder how Aunt Hattie is enjoying her first real flight.
There's nothing the matter with your aunt's nerves.
I'll say there ain't. Any sister that'll ride from Springfield to Florida in the baggage compartment like a suitcase or an overnight bag, yeah, and go to sleep like she said she did, there ain't much wrong with her nerves.
Say, what's wrong with your friend in front of us? Looks like he's having trouble of some kind.
Oh, you mean Pete? He's just waggling his wings. He must see the emergency field and is going in to land.
Fine. Let's get down as soon as we can. Start dropping her, will you?
Sorry, Morgan, but we just don't do things that way. We'll wait until Pete gets on the ground, and furthermore, we'll stay right up here until Morrison lands that other Aircat.
Yeah? Well, I said that we land now. I don't intend to stay up until that gale hits. And that thunderstorm doesn't make it exactly nice flying weather either.
Morrison is coming up, Jack, and he's waggling his wings, too, as you call it.
Okay, watch it. I'm going to signal him back that we understand.
Hey, do you have to do that just to signal?
Sorry, Joey, but it's not so easy to handle this ship in this storm.
Hey, what's the idea of them going in first? To try to notify the police or something?
They're going in first because they have the fastest landing ships. Just in case you don't care about your neck, I have no intention of falling one of them in too soon and banging into them on the ground. So we stay up, storm or no storm, until they're safe on the ground.
There's logic to that, Vic. Let him fly the ship.
Okay, Baker. But no tricks when we land, see?
I think I fully understand. Either of them on the ground, Ann?
The rain is so heavy that I can't see all the field. Oh, yes, I can see all of it now. And Jack, that other plane isn't there either.
Other plane? What are you talking about, Ann?
So you did try to pull something, did you?
No, we haven't tried to pull anything. I mean that plane that flew over the island just before we took off. You saw it, didn't you, Jack?
Yes, and I was just wondering who it was. What he was doing out over the Atlantic with a storm inside.
Well, if that ship is down there, we don't go into this field. You get that, Baker?
That ship isn't there, Morgan. You can rest easy about that.
Vic, there's something about this I don't like. Too many spooky airplanes. First, the one that tried to down us when we came down here. Then the one that flew over us a while ago. I didn't like his look. It ain't nice to throw rocks at you when you get a windstorm on your hands.
What do you mean, throwing rocks at you?
Nothing. Only I'd have swore that when that plane swooped down over the island back there, while me and Morrison was over at the power plant, that he dropped something that looked like a big rock. But Morrison went over and looked where I thought it landed. He said there wasn't a thing.
You sure that Morrison didn't give any kind of a signal to that ship, Joe?
I don't know, Vic. I couldn't keep my eyes on him all the time. We had work to do, and that wind was awful. But I looked on the way back. There was a big rock there, all right, but that was all.
You're probably seeing things. Well, how about it, Baker? Does it feel clear now?
I think so. Looks like Pete is down, and Morrison is just taxiing his ship up to that windbreak.
But won't it be dangerous to leave the ship there, Jack? Won't those palm trees blow over in this wind if it gets any stronger?
Those are not palm trees, Ann. Those trees that they use for windbreakers on the east side of this field are what they call Australian pines. They'll stand quite a bit of a gale. And the closer we can get the ship to them, the better. So better stand by. We may have a rough landing.
You think we can use the radio when we land, Baker?
With the static in this thunderstorm and the wind, you couldn't get 10 feet away from the ship, Morgan.
Well, then the minute we hit, I'm striking for the nearest phone. But get this. I don't want any funny moves. I don't want everybody there when I get back. You see to that, will you, Joe?
Can't you wait to phone the boss, Vic?
The phone lines are liable to be out in an hour or less. And this call is important.
Hang on, here we are.
That wasn't bad, Jack.
The first time I've ever landed a ship like this. It certainly has got things all right.
You take care of staking her down, Baker. And remember, I'll be back.
Boy, I'm sure glad it's you that has to go to a phone. I'll just stay here where it's dry.
You better stay in here, Ann. You can always get out if you see that the blow is going to do any harm.
All right.
We'll stake down the ship.
Now, remember what I said. Hey, Jack, stay where you are. Morris and I'll take the ship for you. Whoever marked out the field fixed it so we can do it.
Thanks, Pete. I'll probably like the trip.
Kind of bumpy in a speed ship, but he rode it out like a veteran. He wanted to come over here, but I told him to protect Kay until I got back. No use all of us getting soaked. Hey, Morrison, catch this up.
Gosh, they tell me that some of these hurricanes last for days. You don't suppose that we'll have to stay here that long?
Can't tell, Joe, but we won't starve in 3 days. There's certainly no shortage of water.
I wish that Mr. Morrison would get in. Aunt Hattie must be frantic by this time.
Don't you worry about her. She's got nerves, she has.
Nice landing, Jack, for a new job. I'm afraid mine was pretty sloppy. Accept congratulations from a poor flyer, Jack Shea.
Huh? Oh, yeah. Thanks, huh?
How was Aunt Hattie, Mr. Morrison?
Taking it like she had 10,000 hours to her credit. Asked me so many questions about that Aircat that it wouldn't surprise me if she could fly it by this time. And here's one that'll get you. She stowed away some thermos bottles of hot soup on the Aircat while we were gassing it up.
Hot soup.
I told you that you didn't have to worry none about that, sister. She's all right. How much soup she got?
Oh, enough to go around, I guess. Said that rain or no rain, she wanted us all to come over there. Well, she'd bring the thermos bottles around.
You don't have to bring him to me. I'll go after that hot soup right now.
Hey, where'd that Morgan go, Jack? Some splashing through to the road like he knew where he was going.
Well, he said that he was going to...
None of that, Baker. You heard Vic tell me not to let you do nothing funny. And that means don't talk too much. All I can do is ask you not to, you know.
Okay, Joe. Well, anyway, Pete, Vic will be back, and he wants to find us all here, so he said.
You're coming over after a bottle of that soup?
Look, Vic may not like to have too many of you get together. You might frame up something. So you fellas go on back to the ships you flew in, and I'll go and get a bottle of soup and bring it back for Baker and the girlfriend. If Vic ain't here to get any, that's just his hard luck.
All right, let's get moving. Take it on the run, huh?
I'm putting you on your honor, Baker, not to try to get to a phone or nothing till I get back. And remember, if you do, well, the soup's liable to be gone when you get back. And I'll hurry you.
He's a strange person, Jack. I wonder if he's in this ring as much as we think he is.
I wonder that myself, Ann. Look, we haven't got a second. Here's a note that Morrison slipped into my hand when he shook hands with me. I thought there was something peculiar about that.
So did I, but I couldn't understand what it was all about. What is it?
Wait till I get a little more light from this dash lamp.
Why, it's a radiogram, and it's addressed to you. Read it, quick.
It says, Jack Baker, pilot, in care of Operator X3. You are exonerated of all guilt in recent events.
Oh.
This is your authority to take complete control of experimental transport ship number NC9401. Accede to any request by IDS to fly this ship to foreign ports.
IDS? What's that, Jack?
That stands for Illicit Diamond Syndicate, an organized diamond smuggling ring to foreign ports.
Oh.
Further instructions from Secret Service Department will reach you on secret frequency, which will be given you by Morrison. Good luck. John Boyle, President, Interstate Airlines. Phew. Well, what do you know about that?
But, Jack, where did Morrison get this? He's been with us ever since...
Here's a penciled note that Morrison has scribbled. We'll give you secret frequency as soon as storm dies down. Well, Ann, it looks like I'm working...
Here comes Joe. Put that radiogram away.
Soup's on, folks. That Morrison fellow is sure good for a lot more than just knowing about radio stations. Boy, look at that.
Over valley and mountain, river and plain, through wind and storm, rides Anne of the Airlines.
Flying just ahead of a tropical hurricane that has threatened the existence of the uncharted island upon which they had been marooned, Ann Burton, Jack Baker, Aunt Hattie Jackson, and the two smugglers, Vic and Joe, have landed a stolen interstate airline experimental transport ship in an emergency field on the coast of Florida, where in comparative safety they can await the passing of the hurricane. In the lull just before the storm breaks over the emergency field, Morrison finds time to hand Jack a radiogram, which proves to be from the president of Interstate Airlines, and which gives Jack permission and authority to fly the transport ship in apparent accession to the demands of the smugglers and thus lend assistance to the U.S. Secret Service in rounding up the gang. Just how did Morrison get possession of this radiogram? And what part is he playing in this drama of intrigue and mystery? As we take up the story, we find the two Aircat speed ships and the transport plane lashed to the ground near the windbreak as our friends await the crest of the blow. Listen.
Boy, this hot soup sure tastes good. I told you that sister wasn't so dumb.
I wonder where she found all these thermos bottles, Jack.
I guess, Ann, that she must have become acquainted with them while she was locked in the baggage compartment on her little stowaway flight from Springfield to the islands. How are the other ships riding out this wind, Joe?
Looked okay to me, Baker. Sure lucky them trees happen to be up there on the east side.
Those trees, my boy, didn't just happen to be there. They were planted. Australian pines are the best windbreakers they can find against these tropical blows, which always happen to come from the east.
How long do you think this storm will last, Jack?
Oh, no telling, Ann. Sometimes these tropical hurricanes blow themselves out in a couple of hours. Sometimes it's a couple of days.
Phew, in 2 days a wind like this would blow the whole state of Florida right out into the Gulf of Mexico.
Oh, hardly, Joe. The old state has managed to withstand harder blows than this. But I don't think that this one's going to last quite 2 days. Atmospheric conditions were not quite right for a long one.
But, Jack, if this was supposed to be a 100-mile-an-hour gale, how could the weatherman predict it so far ahead? It didn't seem to come in at any speed like that.
Well, it didn't. But you see, while the wind in the hurricane is blowing at the rate of 100 miles an hour, the storm itself may only be raveling forward at, say, 50 miles an hour. You see what I mean?
I didn't get it. If the wind is blowing 100 miles an hour, it's got to go ahead 100 miles an hour.
Not at all, Joe. You see, it's something like the blast from one of the propellers on this ship. When we taxi down the tarmac.
What's a tarmac, Jack?
A tarmac, Ann, is the strip of pavement, usually concrete, that you'll find in front of almost every hangar and every airport. They bring the planes out there to warm them up, look them over, and to load the passengers and the baggage.
I see.
Well, as I started to say, when we taxi this ship from the tarmac, the blast from the propellers may be a wind that will register up to 50 or 60 miles an hour in the vicinity of the ship. But the ship itself, that is the cause of this little vest pocket tornado, may be moving along at 10, 15, and seldom over 20 miles an hour.
Gee, Baker, you ought to be a school teacher.
It seems odd, though, doesn't it, to be sitting here in this cabin listening to the explanation of weather and hurricanes with the wind blowing like it is outside. I wonder how fast it's blowing out there now.
Oh, I'd say from the way those trees are bending over that it's got up to 50 or 60 miles an hour, and that's a full gale anywhere in the country.
It's too full for me. I wonder what Vic's doing out there. If he don't get back here pretty soon, he won't make it.
That phone call of his must have been mighty important.
He wanted to get it through before the wires went down. We can't take any chances in this game, you know, Baker.
That's one reason why I've been wondering about you, Joe.
What do you mean, wondering about me?
Oh, I don't know. You just don't look the type that gets mixed up in this sort of thing, that's all.
That's just my better nature coming to the surface, I guess. But don't let that fool you. And don't bank too much on my kind heart.
Thanks, Joe, for the tip. But I think that Ann has hit something that has been bothering us both.
Hey, open up this door. Okay, Vic, just as soon as I find a spot to put this... Gosh, what'll I do with this bottle of soup? It'll spill.
Here, Joe, give it to me, and you can open the door.
Thanks, here.
Hurry up, I'm drowning out here. What's the matter in there?
Keep your shirt on, Vic. I'm trying to open the door. Looks like a piece of wood has flowed into the lock when they closed it.
Ann,
Yes?
I've got to get that frequency from Morrison right away. There's no telling when they'll want me to leave.
Oh, but you can't leave without gas.
I got a hunch they'll find some way to dig up some gas.
But this wind, Jack, surely you don't think
They'll
you
do anything, Ann. I've got to get to Morrison before I leave. Because I can't take a chance on fishing around for that radio frequency. Too much of a chance. And I might hit it just when one of them is listening.
You're pushing in there while I pull out here. Okay, now.
Yeah, that wind is getting worse. And that last radio forecast said it would get worse for the next 2 hours.
Did you get the call through, Vic?
Of course I did. What did you think I dragged through nearly a mile of that mud and water to that boat for? To take a boat ride?
I was just asking, that's all.
Hey, what do you got in that thermos bottle?
Soup, Morgan.
Soup? Hey, did someone of you leave after what I said? Tell her what I thought I told you.
Oh, lay off, Vic. Nobody ain't been nowhere. It was Tut.
It was who?
Tut. You know, the stowaway sister.
Joe means it was Aunt Hattie. She had presence of mind enough to warm some soup before we left the island and brought it along in the other planes in these thermos bottles.
I get it. Some of that would go good after the soaking I got.
Here's my cup. Oh, ouch. That's hot.
Now, beautiful here had poured that. She wouldn't have poured it on her hands. She's going to be an air hostess, she says.
If I ever get back to Springfield, you mean?
I think you're going back to Springfield. And pretty pronto, too.
You mean that we are going...
I don't mean we. I mean you. You and your little party of friends can leave here just as soon as this storm passes over. Now, I got a little business to talk over with Baker. And I think it's going to be a bit personal. So before the storm gets any worse, Joe, you escort the lady over to the Air Cat and see that she stays there until I give you the word.
But, Jack, what are you going to
Your
do
boyfriend is 21, ain't he? And I think that...
Over valley and mountain, river and plain, through wind and storm, rides Ann of the Airlines.
Many unexpected adventures have been encountered by Ann Burton since she resigned from her nursing career at Tyler Sanitarium in Springfield.